legs, gibberish, quarantine fashion, and pancake cereal. Welcome back to Trends. Oh yes, I hope you're having a good week. I hope it's treating you well and that you're finding, whilst we're in lockdown, you're finding good trends just to keep you going, you know? Just to keep your brain ticking over. We've got a selection of trends to talk about today, things that have happened over the past week that we're going to talk about, and hopefully by the end of it we'll pick our trend of the week. Fingers crossed this goes well. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first trend of the week. Legs. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, but it just kind of like popped up from nowhere. This picture of a pair of legs. Doesn't sound weird at all, does it? There's a pair of legs, so it's lying down on the floor with these pair of legs kind of bent. But the thing about these legs is the fact that they have got high, like thigh-high boots on them. Big, like black thigh-high boots. Now, there's only like so many people that can pull off the high thigh boot. You know, it's quite a fashion statement item as well. These are, you know, and they're also this woman's legs we're talking about. This is a picture of a pair of woman's legs with some high boots on. It's cut off just after the legs. So like, you don't see the rest of the person's face, it's just the legs. We have grown a little bit of a fetish over the past week for these legs with high thigh boots. This has created a meme game where you can stick, because of the way these legs are positioned, lying on its side, you can play a little bit of photo game and stick any torso that you want on these legs. So if you've never really been able to pull off the thigh-high boot look, have no fear, because you can now do it with some very good pair of legs. It looks awesome. I don't think I have seen one yet that doesn't look good. So you know that I reckon anybody could pull off the thigh-high boot look that this whole game creates, because it is that good. And it has sparked a whole thing, especially on Twitter, where we are creating our favourite photographs or combinations of the thigh-high boot legs and whatever torso we can think of. Here's just to name a few. How about Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park? Awesome shot, famous picture with a pair of thigh-high boots. Just there. He looks like he's definitely working as well. Also, because of the shot from Jurassic Park, he's got the black shirt on, which matches very well to the boots. It's all just working. It's all working so well. Also, we have got Jay-Z looking good. I mean, they could almost be Beyonce's legs with Jay-Z. Maybe he like borrowed them out of the closet. Thought, hey, honey, you're not wearing these often. I'll wear them. Jay-Z with the legs. We also have got Spock from Star Trek. That's right, Spock from Star Trek with thigh-high boots. I am so impressed with the ability of some people to really crop it so well that it just like continues on. They've just made it work so well. It looks awesome. One of my favourite ones. It also turns out that there are different versions of the legs, so you can like choose one that fits really, really well with the picture you've got. One, for example, is of Shrek lying on the ground. Who knew that Shrek could look so good in thigh-high boots? Amazing. To be fair though, this reminds me of a scene, I'm pretty sure it's SpongeBob SquarePants in a movie somewhere, where he has got, like, he just develops legs and they've got like boots on them and everything, and it's just a bizarre SpongeBob moment, which happens often anyway in SpongeBob SquarePants. But he really does, who thought that SpongeBob SquarePants could rock boots, but he proved that it was possible. So maybe we shouldn't be so surprised that Shrek can also pull off the thigh-high boot look. I love it also that it's not just celebrities and cartoon characters, but there's one shot on Twitter where they actually have got like a scene from like a theatre where it looks like the guy is dying and he's like led out. He's got some people like holding his torso, and then they just added on these thigh-high boots on the bottom end. He's dying, but he's on point with fashion. He's so there. Another really good one was Adam Driver. I was going to say Kylo Ren then, but it is Adam Driver. Led on a sofa with thigh-high boots. There's also one from Glee. I think it's Kurt from Glee, and he's sort of led on his tummy, but they've got a picture of these boots kind of like with the boots in the air. It just looks so good. He's working it. He is so working it right now. And then we've got a dying Robin in Batman's arms with thigh-high boots, obviously. Harry Styles looks very good with some thigh-high boots on, I must admit. Even Luigi from Mario and Luigi can work the thigh-high boot look. And just to prove that these can work with any type of photo that we've seen, somebody added it to a cat. And while you might think that is weird, the cat totally rocks the thigh-high boot look. Absolutely love it. And so if you're feeling down and maybe you're having a bad day and you're not feeling very fashionable, you can just make yourself feel better by attaching a photo of yourself to these legs with thigh-high boots. Or if maybe you've always wondered what you would look like if you ever bought some thigh-high boots, because they are like a fashion statement item. It's also not something you could wear every day. Like, this is like when you're going to be going out, and even then, the thigh-high boot, you've got to have some good legs to start off with to rock the thigh-high boot look. But also, with the thigh-high boots, like, you've really got to wear them. They are a statement piece. If you were ever going to try and do thigh-high boots, they are the statement piece that you would have on. And so you've got to have the confidence to rock the thigh-high boots as well. So if you've ever wondered and maybe you're a little bit shy about venturing into the thigh-high boot, you can have a go and see what they look like. And if you were ever wondering where these boots came from, luckily the wonderful people of Twitter have uncovered it for you. Apparently they are the legs of Lisa. This is what I'm reading on Twitter. She's a member of the K-pop group Blackpink. She's a rapper, dancer, sub-vocalist, model, multilingual, of course. And yeah, of course, Blackpink, big K-pop group. So, and if she's doing that, she's obviously looked after her legs. Let's just put it there. So you can see videos of her with these boots on. She knows what she's doing and she can work the thigh-high boot very well. So if you are ever wondering whose legs you might be strapping onto you, it's Lisa from Blackpink. There you go. Our next trend of the week comes from Instagram. There's a new filter on Instagram stories which we are getting a little bit obsessed with, and we keep trying them out. So of course, we need to talk about it. I'm just going to get Instagram up on my phone. Okay. It's called Guess the Gibberish. And this is a filter you basically make it look at you, and it kind of puts this little box above your head. And you don't know what is going to happen until you start recording the video. But basically, it's going to put a phrase above your head, and you have to try and figure out what it's trying to say to you. It's kind of a piece of gibberish, and you've got to try and read it and figure out what the message is. And you have about 10 seconds or so to figure it out. And then you can record these, put them up on Instagram stories, and just show people either how really, really good that you are at them or how bad. That's pretty much how it goes. So I've seen people doing these quite a lot, and like most people struggle, but seem to get there in the end. However, like I struggle reading English anyway, let alone trying to then read a piece of gibberish and interpret what the meaning is. I love watching these videos because it's great seeing the struggle and also like seeing how people like accomplish it at the end. But I also have this kind of reservation. I'm like, yeah, but I am not going to be able to read any of these. This is just not going to go down well. But, you know, we've got to start somewhere. So we have got the app up. Shall we attempt to guess the gibberish? I don't know how they like come up with these and make them work, but they do really work, and they are really, really clever. They're like little sayings or something. I partly just enjoy trying to actually just read the words for what they are. But obviously that's not what you're supposed to do, unfortunately. You're supposed to actually try and guess the phrase. So for example, I'm just going to just start one off. Guess the gibberish. So I've got to hold down my button, and so it says speed, ache, anchor, sif. See, it's also the pressure of the fact that you've got to guess the word. Like, as soon as I get a countdown, my brain shuts off. It's not going to happen. Apparently the answer was speak in cursive. I can't even read English, for crying out loud. Speak in cursive. That apparently was the message that we were trying to get. Clearly, I could not get it. I am so bad at these. I don't know why I put myself through this. Let's try and actually get one. Here we go. My eeks ache burn sore device tooth odd. Yeah, I don't know. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. That was really long. If I can't even get like a 3-word one, how much am I going to get that? I don't know. I take so long reading it for the first time that by the time I finish reading it, it's like too late to even attempt to try and guess it. But we'll give it a go. Just to give you some more examples of the great things that you can do on this new filter. If you're bored at home during quarantine, have a go at some gibberish. Okay, what was going on here? A taco think loans. I also like the fact that they have actual words. Attack of the Clones. Oh, that one was really good. I liked that one. That was really good. I feel like I'm supposed to switch my brain into a different gear when I try and do these, but clearly it's not happening. Let's do one more just so we can kind of get into the mindset of these. Okay. Here we go. Belacus Marakinus al-Kamazar. Well, I have no idea. Cardi B. What? I thought we were looking for statements. Where did Cardi B come from? I don't know. I really don't know. Well, okay, well, we've had a go at gibberish. Clearly I am terrible at it, but we knew that before we started, so that was okay. But hopefully you're better at it than me, and you can have a little go and see how you go. Maybe you could see who's better at it between you and your friends at talking gibberish. It's a whole thing. I also don't know how people come up with these. Like, where do these come from? Clearly, I assumed that it was just going to be little statements, but you've got song lyrics in there. You've got people, films. So it could be a whole host of things. You have no idea what's going to pop up on the screen at a time, but just be prepared for a little bit of gibberish. I really like, if I had more time, I'd like to think that maybe I could get some, but, you know, that's asking for a lot. Okay, trend number 3, I actually kind of decided to kind of pile a load in together because what I've noticed over the past few weeks, and we haven't really talked about it, is the emergence of quarantine fashion or lockdown fashion. Now, we've seen a number of fashion trends over the past few weeks here on Trends, including the bin fashion where people were wearing great outfits as they take their bins out. We also saw last week the people recreating fashionable looks from items in their homes and recreating runway looks. So this is a whole thing. But one thing we haven't looked at is actual fashion that is gonna kind of aid us during the lockdown. And this is a thing that we might need at some point. You never know. I also kind of think people are getting to that point during lockdown or quarantine or whatever where it's kind of like, okay, so if we get to the point where we can go back out, are we going to have to wear certain items or accessories to just make that transition a little bit easier? You never know. So the fashionable items have just slowly been creeping out over the past few weeks. One of them, which I wasn't sure if it was a joke at first until I actually realised that you could buy these, was the bucket hat visor. Now, 90s fashion has kind of been really, really coming back in quite a few big ways over the past year or so, and the bucket hat is one of them. I think in the 90s when I was younger, I did have a bucket hat. Yeah, I did. I did have a bucket hat. And yeah, that was like a whole phase right there, the bucket hat. However, I don't know if I could pull one off anymore, to be honest. I don't know if I'd be right. Maybe one day if I have the confidence, but yeah, I don't know if I could pull off a bucket hat in the same way anymore. But of course, a bucket hat, like, it kind of just goes around your whole face or your whole head, but it has that like flap that goes around it. So what they've done is they've just attached a visor to the end of the flap. It looks so bizarre. It almost looks like you're wearing some sort of raincoat umbrella thing on your head. It is bizarre because it looks like a bucket hat, but then it just keeps going. Obviously, it's a see-through visor, and some of them have got like coloured trim to match the hat around the bottom, and it covers your whole face as well. So the bucket hat visor is like, you know, you've got a good facial coverage the whole way around this thing. And yeah, this is the whole thing. Who knew that this could exist? But it does, and it's great. What I was also wondering was like, well, how practical is this? Because although in the pictures it looks like it just stays out of your face and, you know, you can kind of get around normally, I wonder, like, does it get in the way at all when you've got this plastic sheet covering your face? I don't know, because it looks like it stays out of your face, but my biggest concern when I saw this was like, yeah, but what if it just kind of like rests on your nose? It's going to be so weird, so awkward. I don't know if I'd like it. It's one of those things, I'm sure you've got to try it and, you know, realise how great it is. But, of course, you can't just go out and try them. You'd have to, like, order one. So who knows? But at least with the bucket hat visor, you also are staying fashionable whilst being safe. So that could be a good thing to have. Just saying. Another fashionable thing that seems to be happening is face masks. The face mask has become its own kind of accessory. Lots of people or lots of businesses now are creating face masks for you to have like your own and all that type of thing. Now, I didn't realise how big this had gotten, the whole kind of face mask. I don't know if it's a face mask in like industry, but I saw reports that Disney have created face masks. You can buy Disney face masks. You know that a thing has reached a certain peak when Disney will create a version of it. Like, Disney have now officially got their own branding on something. This isn't something that somebody's made. This is an official, as far as I understand, this is an official Disney product that you can buy Disney face masks. And they've done them in a number of ranges. It's not just like your classic Disneys. You've also got Star Wars, because they own Star Wars, and they also have a Marvel collection. So you have like a whole load of choice on face masks that you can now get, and I wonder if we're going to start seeing the emergence of fashion face masks. Artists have also jumped on the face mask bandwagon. Some of these are not necessarily things that will keep you safe, but they're more just for the art statement. So you've got things like knitted face masks. You wouldn't wear those to protect you, but more just to kind of, you know, make a statement about something. But to see the creativity of something that has become so big because of what's happening around us and how people are kind of like using it to create statements, to make their own art pieces is amazing. Just from the simple face mask. And they go from anything from just like the strip that goes around here to like ones that cup your face. I mean, I don't know what the best thing is, but I am excited to see whether the face mask is going to continue to be a big thing going forward, and how much more into fashion is it going to become. Our last trend of the week comes in the form of pancake cereal. I am actually really excited about this. I saw this online and I was like, oh my word, this is awesome. Absolutely love it. Now, obviously, baking has become quite big over the past few weeks, as it's one of those hobbies that lots of people are taking up. It's quite hard to get baking materials in the supermarket. One thing that has been discovered, has been circulating around online, is pancake cereal. Now, obviously, most people love a good pancake. Pancakes are awesome. They're just great. Enough said, really. Now, pancake cereal, you're basically making pancakes, but they're like tiny pancakes. So you make your pancake batter, and instead of putting like one big pancake on there, you're making loads of tiny small pancakes. And then when you cook them, you put them in a bowl. And then you can add, you know, milk, or you could have just sprinkle stuff on top. But they look so good. Oh my word. Now, I've been doing a little bit digging into pancake cereal, trying to figure out, like, okay, how is this possible? Is it easy to do? Because it looks amazing. And there are some things that you need to know. Apparently, you need to use an American pancake recipe. And the reason for this, I know we're in the UK and we do like English pancakes. English pancakes are great. However, I'm not a baking expert, but from reading online, the reason you have to use the American pancake recipe is because it's thicker. The English pancake recipe is a little bit thinner. So you need to make an American pancake batter, and instead of just dropping in to make thick American pancakes, you're just going to do like smaller dollops. They suggest like the size of a 1p is a good size, so you're looking at around that sort of size. You could go slightly bigger if you want to. But the whole idea is that you could then cook all these little dollops, and create a bowl of pancake cereal. One thing I like about this, I've not tried it, obviously, I'm not that good of a cook, but it doesn't look that complicated to do. So it makes me think, you know what, this could be like a really, really good alternative if you're not really into cereals. Because sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I don't want to have the same cereal again. I can't do it. So this could be like a really good alternative to having like your standard breakfast. Also, it could be like a little treat. You could treat yourself to some pancake cereal. And as has been proven with a lot of trends online, making things miniature always is so cute. I mean, these little pancakes look so cute. It's great. Pancake cereal is clearly the way to go. Now, I've not seen anybody try it with milk yet. This has been taking off on places like TikTok and on Instagram. Now, a lot of people that I have seen have been just kind of, once they've got their bowl of cereal, spreading like maple syrup on it or butter, which is clearly like a more American type of topping. But hey, maybe, like, I don't know if it would be any good with milk. I'm not saying it would be bad, but I feel like with a topping like this, you want something that's going to seep through because you've got a whole bowl, and the last thing you want is for all of the good stuff to be mixed on the top and not reach the bottom, because then you're going to eat all the good stuff first, and then you're not going to want to eat the rest. It's going to be boring. What's the point? I would love to know if you have tried making pancake cereal and if it has been any good, because it looks amazing. But if nothing else, you can just like enjoy a little bit of a different twist on pancakes with pancake cereal during the lockdown. Those are our 4 trends this week. We've had a whole collection of different ones, from the legs to the gibberish filter, pancake cereal, and obviously quarantine fashion. But my trend of the week, it was a tough one because I really like pancake cereal. It's so different, and just I love them when they make things miniature. It's always great. But for me, it has got to be the legs. So much joy coming out of the legs this week. It was always going to be that one. So my trend of the week is the legs. And I would love to see if we can find some more leg pictures. And it just proves that anybody can now look good with thigh-high boots on. There you go. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you click along to subscribe and follow on to our trend journey. And hopefully we'll be able to just keep up to date with all of the great trends that happen online every single week. I'll see you next time.